Right, so by now, having done 72, 73, 74, you should be getting a healthier picture of this. You want to do this question because you want to be thoroughly comfortable with the process. Here they've given you the input, they've given you material. So what we're doing is to add in labor. So let's add in the labor. And what we have here is that we're told that we have 4 employees who worked on the process. Each employee worked 30 hours per week for 4 weeks and were paid £12 an hour, right? So we have a total of 4 times 30 times 4 times 12. So we have a total of £5,760, if you like, as the labor rate, 5,760, right? Then it says that you're absorbing overheads at a rate of £8 per labor hour. So the question is, how many labor hours do we have here that we're dealing with? So if each employee is doing 30 hours per week for 4 weeks, then times 4, of course, because there's 4 of them, we are now charging £8 to that. So we now have 30 times 4 times 4 times 8, which is 3,840. So we have overheads of 3,840. So we throw everything in, 3375 plus 500 plus 5760 plus 3840, and you should come out with a total of 13475. And so you have 300 units. Yes, that's the case. You've produced 300 units um, for this process. I'm just trying to make sure I haven't forgotten or lost anything out in this arriving at our answer. Anyway, we're now told that we're expecting. Oh, this could be interesting. We're expecting a normal loss of 10%. So, well, actually, let me be careful now because I think I know why they've given us a gap here. But let me just sort of stop here. So we're expecting a normal loss of 10%. So 10% on 300 units. So we're expecting to lose 30 units, right? That's what's going on. So let's first of all calculate the picture of what everything would normally be, what the standard cost would be. Now, these 30 units we're expecting to sell at £5, right? So that's £150, right? That's £150. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So we have a situation where we are, I should find the total of this. I think I just did. I did, didn't I? Let me just find that again. So that was 3375 plus 500 plus 5760 plus 3840, which was 13475. So I'm expecting to lose 30 units at £5, and so therefore that would be minus 150, yes, divided by 300 minus 30, right? This is what I'm expecting to come out. I'm expecting the value of each of these units, these 270 units, if you like, to be these 270 units to be spread, this value to be spread over these 270 units. So let's do that. So 13475 minus 150 is equal to 13325 divided by 270 divided by 270, and that gives us £49 and 35. So £49 35 is what I'm expecting for each of these. Now I'm told I know these are 30 units, right, at 150, right? So what's happened here, interestingly enough, is that we were expecting to lose 30 units, but what's really happened is that we've come out with 290 units. So I mean, these 290 units are still, of course, at that £49.35. I mean, that's what it is, right? So it means that actually what happened was we overestimated on our loss production. So really we have what we refer to as an abnormal gain of 20 units, right? Because that's why you have, well, you call it a normal gain, but what we're really saying is that you came out with 290 thinking you were going to come out with 270. So really, we have what we refer to as an abnormal gain. We weren't expecting these 20 extra units, of course, the 49 at the 49.35. Right? That's how we kind of balance this out. So you can sort of say, you can look at it this way, that you're balancing out both of these, if you like, or offsetting. This 20 is offsetting this 30. It's reducing what the actual loss is in the end, right? So let's plug this all out. 290 times 49.35, and that's, here we have 14311.5, and here we have 20 times 49.35, and here we have 987. And so let's add that all together. So we have 3375 plus 500 plus 5760 plus 3840 plus 987, and then we have a total here of 14462, and we do exactly the same thing here. 150 plus 14311.5, which is, well, 14461, but let's just call it 1462 if you like, in terms of doing that. And that's how we deal with this. So really, just to clean this up, I'm going to get rid of this so you can see what the next stage of this would have been. And the next stage of this would have been us. The next stage of this would have been us. What's the word? The next stage of this would have been us preparing the abnormal loss and abnormal gains accounts. Abnormal gains loss accounts out, if you like, and this is what they would have looked like. Yes, abnormal, here with abnormal gain. So, or really the scrap account. It really doesn't matter, the scrap account. Let's call it this way. You see, so what would have happened here? We would have, out of this account, you would have in here, I'll just keep the colors the same. You will have the 30 units at £5 were valued at 150. But to offset this, we will now have, of course, because we're debiting the process account, we are crediting the abnormal loss account with the 20 units valued at £49.35, if you like, at 987, right? And then what ends up happening is that we will now sell, think of this as a disposal account. So what we're really saying here is we're now disposing, imagine we have bank. So what's really going to happen is that we are going to sell 10 units at, right, 10 units at the value of £5 each, because we assume we sell them for their value. That's why we value them at that. 10 units, so £50, and into the bank £50, right? That's what we're really saying. So if you think about this here, what you now have here is you now have 7, 8 plus 5 is 13, 1 plus 9 is 10. You have 1037, you have 1037. So what you now have, in effect, is a gain. You have a gain on disposal, so to speak, of the difference, which is 1037 minus 150, which is 887. So you have a gain account, gain on disposal, but it really is more a remeasurement of that standard, right? It's really saying that you had hit yourself with too much of a cost initially with your normal loss assumption. So you've actually have more units than you thought. You have more value saved, because that's really just all part of this value here. Okay, great stuff. And that's how we deal with this bit here, with in terms of whenever you have an abnormal gain. Your abnormal gain is always on the debit side of the process account. Cool, great stuff.